Okay. So, you know that moment when you're in a conversation and you're thinking, I really need to leave, and then you just don't.
20 minutes later, you're still there.
Still there, nodding, making full eye contact, internally screaming.
Today, we're talking about that. How to actually leave a conversation. Politely, without it being completely weird. And somewhere along the way, we're covering a grammar thing that trips people up constantly. Verbs like remember, regret, and go on, because the meaning completely flips depending on whether you say ing or to.
Hey everyone, welcome to Quiet English. I'm Emily.
I'm Nathan. Let's get into it.
Okay, Nathan, just hit them with it. What's actually going on here?
Right. So there's a small group of verbs in English where the meaning changes completely depending on what comes after them. And the two that catch people most are remember and regret.
Because they look like they should just work the same way.
But they really don't. So remember, two very different things. I remember locking the door. That means you locked it, it's done, and now you're thinking back to that moment. I remembered to lock the door. That means before you left, you thought, oh, I need to lock it. And then you did it. You didn't forget.
One is looking back, one is looking forward in a way.
Exactly. Same word. Completely different moment in time.
And regret, I regret saying that, means I said it, it happened, and now I wish it hadn't.
But I regret to tell you, that's a different creature entirely. That's formal. That's basically, I'm sorry I have to say this. You'll see it in letters. We regret to inform you that your application was unsuccessful.
Nobody says that in real life.
Nobody says it in real life, but you'll read it, and it's useful to recognize.
And then go on. She went on talking. That means she just kept going. The same thing, continuing.
She went on to talk about the weather. That means she finished one thing and then moved to something new. It's sequential.
Still doing versus next thing.
Exactly. And quick note before we start. Verbs like start, begin, continue, intend, bother, those can take either form, and the meaning doesn't change.
It started raining or it started to rain. Both fine. Don't lose any sleep over those.
Okay, that's genuinely all you need. Let's just talk now, and you'll hear all of this come up naturally. I promise.
So, exiting conversations. This is a real thing that I think about more than I should.
Do you have a strategy?
I have attempted strategies. Whether they work is an entirely separate question. Okay, what's your worst one? Worst stuck in a conversation memory.
Oh, okay. So, there was this work thing. Some after-work drinks event that I did not want to attend in the first place.
Classic.
And I got cornered by a guy. Lovely person, genuinely. But he just went on talking about his kitchen renovation for, I don't know, 45 minutes?
The kitchen. It is always the kitchen.
The tiles, the grout, the specific shade of white for the walls. And I remember thinking, okay, I'll just wait for a natural pause and then slip away.
And
There was no natural pause.
he didn't pause?
He did not pause. He went on to describe, and I'm not exaggerating, the entire journey of finding the right contractor.
So he went on to a whole new topic?
A whole new topic. The kitchen wasn't even enough. I was completely trapped.
What did you do?
I faked a phone call.
No.
I said, "Oh, sorry, I have to get this," and walked away.
Was there a phone call?
There was absolutely no phone call.
Nathan.
Listen, I regret it, okay? I regret doing that. It was cowardly, but I was desperate.
I mean, we have all been there. I regret so many conversation exits. There was this one time I remember going around to say goodbye at a birthday party, and somehow I ended up in a completely new conversation for another 30 minutes.
The goodbye loop.
The goodbye loop. It's a real phenomenon. You say goodbye, and then you go on talking. You say goodbye again, and you go on talking. It never ends.
It's like a trap that you built yourself.
It is exactly like a trap that you built yourself. And the worst part, I actually like parties. I just also need them to have an end point.
See, I think this is what people misunderstand about introverts and social situations. It's not that we hate being around people.
No, not at all.
It's that we need to know we can leave. Like, the exit has to exist.
Yes. And when someone just goes on talking with no gap anywhere, you can feel your energy just draining.
So, what actually works? Real exits. What are you working with?
Okay, I have been doing research on this. Personal research from a lifetime of being genuinely terrible at it.
Very rigorous methodology.
Very rigorous. So, one thing that actually works is you set it up at the very start. You say something like, I can only stay for a few minutes, but I really wanted to say hi. And then when you leave, it's already been established. Nobody is surprised.
Oh, that's clever. You've already planted the seed.
Right. You remembered to plan your exit before you even walked through the door.
And then when you use it, it doesn't feel abrupt.
Exactly. Versus when you forget to set anything up.
And then you're just stuck. And you're standing there regretting every decision you've made that day.
Yes, that. I regret not saying something at the beginning, and then the beginning is gone and it's too late.
What else?
There's the honest approach, which is harder, but I think it's genuinely effective.
What does that sound like?
Something like, I'm gonna head off. I need a bit of quiet time. But it was so good to see you. And you just say it like it's normal. Because it is normal.
Is it not too much information?
Maybe for some people. But actually, most people respect it. And you're not making it about them. You're not saying, I'm exhausted by you specifically.
That's true. You're taking responsibility for your own need.
Right. And then there are the classic excuses. I've got an early start tomorrow. Works every time.
Does it feel dishonest?
Sometimes, but I don't regret saying I have an early meeting on a Saturday. I don't regret it at all, because the alternative is staying and slowly dying inside.
That is a strong argument.
It's not lying. It's protecting everyone's feelings.
It's diplomatic.
Exactly. Very diplomatic.
Okay, and the version you actually use now. What does a good exit look like for you these days?
Honestly, just warm and direct. I really loved catching up. I'm gonna go, but let's do this again properly soon. And then, and this is the key part, you actually leave.
You actually leave immediately.
You don't linger. You remembered to prepare what you want to say. You said it. And then your legs carry you to the door. Done.
Because the lingering is what kills it. You say goodbye and then you go on standing there, and suddenly the conversation thinks you're still in it.
The conversation thinks. Okay, yes, the conversation is sentient, and it is trying to keep you.
That is a very introvert way of describing a social interaction.
Thank you. I am very proud of it.
Okay, quick recap of everything we covered.
I remember doing something. The action already happened. You're looking back at it.
I remembered to do something. You thought about it before you did it. You had the intention and you followed through.
I regret doing something. It happened and now you wish it hadn't.
I regret to tell you, formal. You're sorry you have to say this. Letters, official messages, not your Saturday brunch chat.
Go on doing something. You keep going. Same action. Continuing.
Go on to do something. You finish one thing and move on to something new.
And start, begin, continue, intend, bother? No difference. It started raining or it started to rain. Both fine.
That's everything. Clean and simple. Okay, quiz time. 3 sentences. 2 have mistakes. 1 is correct. I'll say each one twice, then pause. See if you can catch it before Emily calls it.
Ready when you are.
Sentence 1. I remember to lock the door. I can still picture myself doing it. I remember to lock the door. I can still picture myself doing it.
Mistake. If you can picture yourself doing it, the action already happened. So it should be, I remember locking the door. Remember to is for before you do something, not looking back.
Sentence 2. She went on to complain for the entire dinner. She just wouldn't stop. She went on to complain for the entire dinner. She just wouldn't stop.
Mistake. And this one's a sneaky one. Went on to complain suggests she moved to a new topic. But here, she's doing the same thing the whole time. So it should be, she went on complaining.
Sentence 3. I regret not saying goodbye properly. I should have made more effort. I regret not saying goodbye properly. I should have made more effort.
That one is correct. I regret not doing something. It didn't happen, and now you're sorry about it. Perfect.
Nice work if you caught those. And if you didn't, listen back. It will click.
Okay, shadowing time. This is where you say things out loud. Yes, out loud. Yes, even if it feels a bit strange. Your mouth needs practice just as much as your brain does. And honestly, saying things out loud is one of the fastest ways to build actual speaking confidence.
I'll say each sentence twice, then pause so you can repeat it. Really say it. Don't just think it. Ready? Let's go. He went on talking about his kitchen for 45 minutes. He went on talking about his kitchen for 45 minutes. I clearly remember thinking, I'll just wait for a natural pause. I clearly remember thinking, I'll just wait for a natural pause. I regret doing that, but I was desperate. I regret doing that, but I was desperate. You remembered to plan your exit. You remembered to plan your exit. I don't regret saying I had an early meeting. It was a Saturday. I don't regret saying I had an early meeting. It was a Saturday. You say goodbye, and then you go on standing there, and it reopens everything. You say goodbye, and then you go on standing there, and it reopens everything. Nice. Genuinely, if you repeated those out loud, you did more for your speaking than most people do in a full study session. Come back to them. Say them again tomorrow. Repetition is where it actually sticks.
That's everything for today. Thank you so much for listening. Genuinely.
Whether you're on a commute, on a walk, or hiding in a bathroom at a party.
Which, as we established, is a completely valid exit strategy.
100% valid. We see you. We are you.
Next episode, we're not going to tell you exactly what it is. But it's something people say wrong constantly. And once you hear it corrected, you'll notice it everywhere. Everywhere.
It's a good one.
It's a really good one. And, okay, this is the part where we ask you to like and subscribe on YouTube, and we both feel slightly awkward about it.
Very slightly.
But it's genuinely free. It takes 2 seconds, and it actually makes a real difference to whether new people find us. So, if this was useful, or even just a little bit fun, please do it. We'd really appreciate it.
More than finding the perfect shade of white for a kitchen wall.
Goodbye, Nathan.
See you next time.
Bye.